There's my feet. There you go. Go on, feet. Let's do some stuff. Right, down the steps. I was out here earlier on just moving machines around, and I've pulled out a couple of extra stones. They are that one there and that one there. They came out from just this big pile of stuff. And in the next couple of weeks, if I'm lucky, I'm going to just slightly redo these steps here. So that one has a load of rubbish, and maybe this one here. This needs to be a bit more sensible. So because I was down here, I had this little digger out, which I've now fixed. Oh yeah, apart from the door. But I was actually going to take this door because I've snapped that hinge. Where's it, that one? If I go look at the door, one of the hinges is actually broken on the door, not on the machine. So that's the last thing to do, is just weld that up, and then it's got at least a nice enclosed cab just in time for the winter. And of course it's the end of winter now, as you can see, because look, there's a thing up there in the sky. Oh, right. So this one's working. Ignore the fact I've taken the plates out there. It's because since I fixed it, I just haven't put it back on. It's in the barn behind me. Right, so I've been using, I've managed to get this little mini digger around the side of the barn, coming in this way. And I'll show you in a sec what it looks like looking down here. So as you can see, I've kind of undercut it a little bit. That's because once I got this, once I cut back that far in, see that? That's corrugated iron there. See that? In the ground. I've dug up so much nonsense. What is that? I don't know what that is. Why is it black? Anyway, just below all this soil level, we get this stuff that I always go on about. Now this is so fantastic, this stuff is amazing for putting down and pass and stuff. So this is the stuff I'm on the hunt for. If I didn't actually need this big bank here, because it actually supports the garden, which is there where the patio is, I dig all this out because I want that. This stuff here will go down all of my paths, and it flattens down perfectly. It's so good. Right, let's just look down here. This is about that wide, funnily enough. It's got a big grading bucket on the front there, and that's pretty much that width there. That pipe actually doesn't go anywhere. It's just a hose, which is sort of semi-submerged still. Might pull it out, don't know. Yeah, I never liked the fact that whenever there was moisture up on the patio, it would run and it would seep into this, and it would be inside here somewhere, just like a massive soak away. And now the barn, this ground level is higher than the barn. At the moment, probably only about 8-10 inches, but it's still higher. So to avoid any water going that way, I wanted to just open this up. I've already put a lot of stones in here, big stones, into the ground and flatten them down. So the idea is I'm making a big kind of soak away really. And this slopes from where I am, that's downhill that way. So any kind of moisture it's not bad in the barn by any means, but I just want water to go that way. Right, let me go around the front. Bit of a, that's the same colour rock there. Isn't that weird? Look at that. I don't know why it looks like that. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Wormy. There you go. All right, I'll walk up the drive. I can't remember why I'm down here. I'm down here for a reason. You can see I've obviously had the digger out here and it's carved up all the grass, but on the whole, it should have, all of this bit I'm walking on now has been sort of shaped and levelled to some degree. So although it looks really mucky, that's all part of the plan. And we're very likely to put gravel in here and then just push it down into the ground as like a third parking space. Remember I said third parking space, okay? So this is it from the front. It's ever decreasing really, but also it's because it's not that steep here and it's very steep there. So I couldn't really chew back into there. Chew back? Chewbacca. There's Mervyn. Hello. Right, onward and upward. I dug out loads and loads of crap from there. Everything I've dug out has been taken down the road, down this lane, and it's right down on another access into our woods, which I want to fill in. So I've got a neighbour back here, a new neighbour. You can't see them. They're in the house over there. And he had some like rubble Well, I've taken it and put it down there. I've then had another neighbour who lives about 500 metres that way, and he's got some rubble, and he's dumped it down there too. Now I've got a lot of crappy topsoil, which you've just seen came from, oh sorry Wormy, I took lots of crappy stuff, and I've also taken that down there. So the idea is we put all the hardcore and the builder's rubble in like a mound, or a long sort of slender mound, and we're going to block up the roadway that's down there and then cover it with the crappy topsoil. Right. Sorry, I'm breath. What's up with me? Right. Third parking space I mentioned down there, and that's because we've been umming and ahhing over this space here as like a visitor space. I think we're getting rid of it, and we're just going to have a path here. That means this here is the edge of the lawn. This is up for discussion over here, but it's likely that the magnolia, which is currently in a pot over there by the front door, that the magnolia is going to go somewhere in this corner here, with some sort of screen here and some sort of screen that way, so you can't see that way, and we get a windbreak that way. Right, so that's that corner roughly mapped out. We know this is a path. We know that this is lawn across here. That lawn goes quite a way down there, so this is why we had to take out this bit of triangle space right in front of me. If I backtrack, this on the left hand side of me used to be the sticky out bit. So this is the existing, look, it used to come out to here. Well, it's now gone, clearly, because now we want this to be predominantly where vehicles come in, and they go round the back, and it's gone blurry. They go round the back of the building, which is going to be sticking out here somewhere, about there. You go round there, reverse up into here, back out this way. And that way we keep a nice long, slender piece of lawn here. So when we put a building in which goes 3 meters this way, so it's roughly 3 by 3 attached to a 10 meter by 4 meter width, 4 meter wide there, 10 meters down there, and then it'll be 3 plus 4, so it's 7 meters in total onto there. It's an L shape, so it goes out that way and that way, and all surrounds the courtyard bit in the middle. So that is what we've been doing. Oh yeah, and the summer house is up. I don't know if you noticed it. This level here is the new level of all of this. We're going to build it up. So we're just at the moment deciding if we're going to use this sort of pea shingle stuff, which we've used over here, which is fine, except when it sticks to your shoes, it travels. So, you know, and this is a garden shed, I know, I get it, but you end up with the stones inside. So we've been thinking how to stop that here, and probably the best way of doing that is not to use pea shingle. So we're thinking of putting down slabs. If we start putting down slabs and concrete, then we start to change. So if we were to build it across here, what we'd do is almost build a barrier maybe for some of the water that comes down this way and moves this way. Essentially that's always downhill, down into the bottom of the valley. So as soon as you start putting down your solid base, you just need to be clear, I think, about drainage. So I haven't finished the guttering, I haven't finished the carport at all. I want some decent weather. So the guttering is just here, just to collect some of the water, and it just drops off the end. And same here, it's not finished. I've got all the parts for it, and the idea is we bring the water down across here, and then we have a drain gully thing that goes straight across and heads on that way. So we can either make this one, there's no guttering on it at the moment, we can put guttering on and try and get it across to here, or maybe bring it in some conduit here, or alternatively, of course, is come down this corner and then head off that way, which is I don't know, it's up for consideration. But it's all these details that sometimes it doesn't make sense until you start to get stuff in place. So this went up couple of days ago. We had builders, well, you know, the supplier has put it up for us, so we did the concrete base. They've thrown it up. We've built one before. It took me about 3 weeks, which was like 3 weekends just doing it. Did everything myself before. This time they did it, and they did it in, I don't know, 5 hours, I suppose, the whole thing. They've done it before. They made a couple of mistakes, and they showed me, and then they showed me how they rectified it, so it's fine. I'm pleased with it. And then we come along and we treated it. So it's had my favourite stuff that I've put on the carport, which is this new version of creosote stuff. I use it quite a lot because I like the stuff. It's over there in a big tub. All this stuff, see that? I want that hidden, gone, anything, any construction materials and machines are not going to be visible. That's my ultimate plan. Right, a quick look in here. So outside is like creosote stuff. Inside, this is linseed oil. The whole thing's been linseed oiled, and it's been diluted with a big tub of white spirit as the thinner. So the next thing to do is put some electrics in. It's all ready to rock. It's here in boxes somewhere, and there's a cable which I'm not sure if I'm going to use yet because it's 1.5 mil, and it's this armoured cable. I'm inclined to put a 2.5 mil cable in, or maybe even 4, from the back of this shed here, which is where there's already a 4 mil cable. I'm tempted to extend it out to here, and then that gives us provision to take it down to the next building if I put 4 mil in. So it's very expensive at the moment, so I'm just hesitating before I order stuff. Or did I order it last night? I can't remember. Anyway, so summer house is built. It's treated inside. Kate's put the first bit of carpet down, and then maybe you know, it's just somewhere to dump stuff at the moment. It's going to be her gym, obviously, and it's temporary because, of course, what we want to do here, this L set going out and then across, is going to be a lot bigger than this one, just in square meterage really. I can do the math on it. It'll be 10 by 4, so it's 40 plus 9, 49 square meters, where this one is about roughly about 5 by 6, about 30. Bigger. Going to end up there in a minute. Did you see the wall? Did I say about the wall? I don't know. Built this kind of wall thing here. We've subsequently dug down here, because if this is going to be a turning area, this whole area here, ignore this cement thing, concrete blob that I put there. I don't know, might cover it over, I don't know, might destroy it. Now I'm stood here, this bit of topsoil just around here, look, that needs to come off. So I need to scrape this level down just a little bit more. The idea is as cars come in, or vans come in, headed towards this white thing really, in here, reverse there, drive out that way. So at the moment, I'm just clearing the other big blob of mud. And then probably on top of this, at some point, we'll have to put down some sort of hardcore, but I don't want to spend money on it, because when you put it down in this place, it just disappears. I've said it before, there's 6 or 8 ton of scalpings, of road scalpings here, and once you just sort of spread them about a bit, they just disappear. So it's like you need a lot to do this sort of space. There's a lot. So anyway, continue the wooden thing right the way along. There's loads of little white stones over there, or rocks I suppose. Still don't know what to do with them. Tempted to make like a fire pit out of them. I keep having bonfires here, so I think, well, maybe I should just build something there and put them like a campfire around the edge. It needs to be cleared and flattened. The mud that I'm moving now is just going over here, so I've got 3 different grades in my brain as to what's here. There's kind of crappy stuff. There is maybe sort of less crappy stuff, and then less crappy stuff. So ultimately this bit here, I might take that first. You know, it's a bit finer. I can probably do, I made a wooden frame with like metal gauze on it, and you get the digger and you lift up a bucket of this. In the bucket, when it's dry, drop it onto the gauze. It's at an angle, and so as all of this hits the wooden frame, it kind of trickles down. All the stones bounce down and end up at the bottom. All of the loose mud here falls through the gauze, and you can obviously take it away and reuse it. Now, looking back here, so I'm now looking back. I'm going to measure 1 meter footpath from here to here. I'm going to measure a 3 meter room, so 3 meters by 3 meters square, Okay, so that's like the sticky out bit, and then that's the other bit of the building going in that direction. It's an L shape. So only 3 meters this way. And then there's this main room right down the back here where I'm stood. This 3 meter by 3 meter. We're probably making that into a sauna room. So let's have it right at the front here. So we come at 3 meters. Then I've got a room 3 meters that way, of course, because so imagine the square. So already I've got 3 meters this way. So we come straight out, and then we go 10 meters down there. So the bit I'm stood in will be 10 meters by probably 4, we're thinking of. And if I was to turn around, there we go, there's a yellow line right by my feet. So I'm stood right on the back of the wall. I'm walking down to the corner of this building. This is the corner of the building. And now if I look up, stuff should be able to come in here. You know, this is 3.6 meters, this thing here. And we can double up that here. So this is a 7 meter gap down to roughly where my feet are. 7 meters here. And then whatever this is probably about the same, about 7 meters across to here. And then we go down, right the way down, the building's down that way, 10 meters. So we've got at least 10 there. So that's the theory, right? I'm the building. Vehicles can come in, not run me over because I'm the corner of a building, right the way around, turn around and drive out. That's why I'm getting rid of that stuff. And the best of this, and that bit, not sure about that bit. The best of it is going to go here. And this is the lawn. This is the middle of the courtyard. And that's it. We just edge that piece along there. Maybe put something on this surface here to finish it off. We build up all the paths, and maybe we put in, as I said, you know, if we don't do pea shingle, we'll probably build it up and put in slabs. It'll be cleaner. Don't know yet. This building that I'm talking about, that I'm stood on, this is planning permission now. It's too big to avoid it, so it definitely is going to have to follow building regs because it's over 30 meters squared. So this is not going to be a rush. This is going to be a brick building as well, with a slate roof, the same as what's on the carport, just to keep a bit of a theme going on. We didn't like the colour of this, right? But you know, first world problems, eh? We didn't like the colour of this, and I didn't like the fact that they lay it down vertically instead of horizontally. So I have got an option. I can actually paint this surface. I wanted it to be slate colour because, you know, everything here's slate. We're in a slate quarry essentially. So we're living with it right now. You know, there's more important things in life, isn't there? So we build everything up. We build up this with the soil where I'm stood and just on the edge of the lawn. We build up all the paths. We build up where the magnolia is going to be, whatever feature that is there. We probably build this up just a little bit. Well, no, it'll be lawn anyway, up to 1 meter. All the paths are going to be 1 meter. So I don't know if there's a 1 meter mark. There's one over there. See the yellow line? That's 1 meter away from that building. It's not massive. It doesn't need to be massive. So I'd probably want to go a little bit wider, maybe 1.2 maybe. So we're kind of almost at the stage of thinking about putting the framework in, and then starting to take the best of the soil we can get and start to fill this in. So I would like to think, I mean, it's lawn, so, you know, what's the point of scraping this off? I'm not really sure. And it's going to be 6 inches of soil and then, you know, very fine topsoil for grass to grow in. We chuck loads of sand in it, I think it'll be fine. If I start scratching this up and pulling out some of the stones, which are going to, you know, this will come out with the digger, but it'll leave a big hole, then what I end up doing is creating a hole for all the water to go down. So in a way, you might be better off just having this as not porous, is that the right word? Not punching holes in it. As ever, don't know what I'm talking about, working out, going to get back on there for half an hour, going to set fire to that. And that's it. I think I'm done for. I can never remember what I wanted to share when I started doing these videos, but I know a couple of you did say, why no videos? Well, been busy, to be honest. But that's in. It's coming together. We've been here 1 year. I mean, you know, by the time we've kind of created this bit here, yeah, we've made a lot of changes, an awful lot of changes. Spring's about to land now, and we've just got stuff really pushing through. Daffodils, oh boy, they're coming on strong, even on the crappy bits, right? So we sprinkled hundreds of daffodils all over the place when we did this. So if I go to this like devastation that we've created here, and when we did this, we just threw bulbs over, and hopefully it's apparent that there are indeed daffodils coming up here. I've been looking at what to do about along here. I mean, in a month's time, this is all going to be green. Everything here is going to just start going mental, and you won't see any of it. But it does look a bit unsightly at winter like this. This tree here, I'm thinking about getting this tree trunk out that's down here, dragging it up here and using it as a barrier on the edge, just some sort of defining edge. There's actually 2 or 3 tree stumps there I was looking at, and I have got a winch on the quad, so I thought I might try it, or just get the Land Rover, tie some straps onto that and just yank it up here and reuse it. I might even cut these off because I'm not sure what to do with them. One of the thoughts was we cut off the big one, and these ones we build a platform from here across to there, because the cats just love sitting on top of stuff, which is why you always see me putting these stones in, because they just sit on things like that. So if we put a piece of wood on there, the cats can go and sit up there. There's no way anyone's coming up here. It's too steep. I don't like going down here because it's all quite loose. You stand on it, your body weight pushes into the mud, and you just end up sliding down. Right, look, my shadows are getting long. I'm talking a load of nonsense as normal. I'm bloody cold. I'm out here on my own, and I could do with a cup of tea. So I'm going to go and put my phone on charge. Hey, it's not bad though, is it? Look at that. Birdies are tweeting. Look at everything's growing. Let me get rid of the sun here. See, everything's starting to happen. These are all, I think I'm right, these are all winter plants apparently, apart from the daffs. So yeah, it's coming. It is coming. That looks really healthy. Yeah, cool. I was looking at propagating laurel. We've got some laurel in the woods, and laurel's an evergreen, and it gives really luscious, and there's a massive amount of it over that way, and there's a huge amount of neighbours that way. Oh look. Makes me laugh. And I found out how to do it. I kind of did the research on it and thought, right, rock and roll. And then right at the end of the research, I found out, and the guy says, so after about 3 years, after you've planted it and kept it indoors for 12 months or something, after another 3 years, it'll be about 1 metre high. I thought, oh, balls. So this isn't going to do me no good up in the woods, something 1 metre high. I need something, and that's, you know, a bit cheekily, I've actually planted bamboo along here. And the theory is that I can watch it, and if it grows really quickly, I'm taking it up there. Right, you know the score. Let me get out the sun. Ready? Oh, look at it. Let me get a nice shot. It's coming. No, it's not coming. No. There you go. Have a sky. Later, taters.